Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to today's stream. Welcome there. Welcome. Hope everybody is doing well. Okay. Welcome to today's stream, where we'll be flying the Piper Dakota, the new free aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So yeah, I forget the name of the airport that we're at right now. Let me just check that up really quickly. Yep. We are at Merrill C. Meigs Field, KCGX, Kilo Charlie Golf X-Ray, Chicago Meigs Airport. Okay, and our final destination for today is Chicago O'Hare International Airport. So yeah, that is what is happening today. So we're flying a little GA flight here with the new and free Piper Dakota by Carenado. I've had a quick first look video, sort of a review if you will, already posted out on my channel. So I thought, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and fly a little bit of a GA live stream today. It's been a while. Okay, excellent. So let's just take a quick look around this beautiful aircraft, and as you can see, it is modeled really nicely. So we're just taking a quick look around it. Okay, very nice. Just taking a quick look around it before we get on out of here. Okay, we're looking good there. Brilliant. Perfection. Anyway, is that a yacht? There is a yacht ahead of us. This area is so wonderfully modeled, and Chicago looks absolutely beautiful in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So we're gonna have some fun looking at the sceneries today. It's just gonna be a slow, easy, relaxing flight. We're just gonna have a little bit of fun touring around, and we're gonna finish off at either Chicago International O'Hare, or we can go to Chicago Midway as well, or we can come back in and land here, whichever works. Basically, we're not leaving Chicago today. Anyway, that being said, let's take a quick look around the beautiful airfield that we're at. This is Chicago Meigs Airport, or Merrill C. Meigs Field, KCGX, as you can see from the top of the nav bar there. Look at how wonderful this area is. It's got some beautiful ship water traffic, boats and yachts and all that. Look at that marina, the docks right there. I don't know if do you call that a marina? I don't think so. Call it the docks right there. Plenty of boats there, so many of them, and the beautiful city of Chicago right there. This is one of the most idyllic and absolutely breathtaking handcrafted airfields in Microsoft Flight Sim. It has the perfect view, and it's absolutely beautifully modeled in the sim. So I really love this airstrip. I discovered this a couple of weeks ago, and I've fallen in love with this place. It is so beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite airfields in the entire sim. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's got some helipads here. Okay, in case you're into that, there's some helipads there. Absolutely wonderful. Some GA parkings. What else we got? Some really nice modeled buildings here. Look at the tower. It's all beautifully done. handcrafted, and it's very, very nice. Look at that. I like this place. It's beautiful. Must be nice to be a controller here. Look at the views that you get. Got some cars there, and look at that airfield. Look at that terminal building. That is a beautiful looking terminal building. Oh, look at that. We got some sort of school bus there as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, isn't it? Look at that. For a default handcrafted airport, this is what I expect. This is great. Chicago Park District. This is absolutely great. I love it. The right amount of interior detailing without going overboard and sacrificing some performance here. Just the right amount of detailing. Just beautiful. See, it's just enough that it gives it depth. When you look at it from outside, it looks really, really good. Adds to the immersion. Very, very nice. And I adore this little airstrip. I highly recommend flying out of it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Anyway. That being said, what's that? What's that black fuel truck? Oh, what is this? Anyway, everything here is wonderfully modeled. Let's head on over to our aircraft. Or just before we do, let's take a look at these rocks that are here. Just a really lovely place. Look at that. Just a really lovely place to be around. Anyway. Let's head on back towards our little aircraft here. No other aircrafts parked with us today, which is kind of strange. I do have traffic injection going, so that is very, very strange indeed. But here we are. Let's get back into our aircraft. Okay, welcome to the cockpit of our very lovely little aircraft here. As you know, it's modeled really, really beautifully. Really, really beautifully. Anyway. Without further delay, let's just go ahead and get this thing out of here. Gonna have a fun little loop around in flights. And then we'll see, depending on if anyone chimes into my live stream, I might decide to carry on a little further with a few more, with another flight from Chicago to Denver. But that depends on how many viewers actually decide to show up today. If people do show up in the chat section, people do show up in the chat, then we might continue and do another flight. Once we land into Chicago O'Hare, we can take off and fly on over to Denver with the 737 MAX. If that doesn't happen today, we'll do it in the next live stream. Not a problem. Anyway. Okay, let me get rid of the yokes here for a second. Fuel selector, I'm going to go put that on the left tank. How much fuel do we have? We can't check that just yet. Fuel mixture up there, propeller right there. Crack open the throttle a little bit. We can go ahead. Today's sim performance isn't the best. Something ain't right. Something ain't right, ladies and gentlemen. Something ain't right. So I'm hoping this will make a difference. I've just opened up lossless scaling. In addition to whatever I have in the sim. Hopefully that helps. I can't be too sure. Anyway, I'm just going to turn off lossless scaling. I don't think it's doing anything at the moment. Yeah, it's not. Okay, anyway. Turning on the batteries there, turning on the fuel pump there, landing lights can go on, anti-collision lights on, pitot heats on, carburetor heat to on for the time being. That can go on, the electric trim, prime the engine really quickly there, and we can get ourselves started up. There we go. Engine start, ladies and gentlemen. Manifold pressure, is low. RPM is high. We need to crank that up just a little bit. Just warming up the engines here. RPM. Come on, RPM. Stay on about 1,000. There we go. We're going to leave it here for a minute or two while that warms up. For takeoff, we need the flaps, don't we? Of course, we don't need the flaps on full. Oh, so much flap. We just need flaps to position 1 right there. That is all we need. Anything else we need? The avionics systems there. Okay, we'll let that boot up as well. While they boot up, we'll wait for our engine to warm up a little bit. Not that it's actually modeled in here. Before takeoff, we need to turn the carburetor heat to off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right now. Garmin, come on, Mr. Garmin. Okay, we got our autopilot here. That's fine. Let's set up 3,500 feet. Actually, I'm gonna make it 4,000 feet in advance there. Enter, enter. Allow the GPS to search for some satellite signals there. Let that happen. Ooh, very nice. In the meantime, let's just goof around in the aircraft. Sounds brilliant, doesn't it? Okay, the interiors are looking nice. I don't understand what why the performance of the sim today is quite terrible. Well, it's not terrible, it's just better than what I'm used to here. It's a little slow today. EM2, gonna have fun. Oh yes, EM. Definitely gonna have fun. Definitely gonna have fun. Definitely. Look at that, EM. You're number one in terms of XP points. You are number one in terms of XP points. You are the top. Appreciate that as always. Welcome to the stream, EM. Welcome to the stream. As I don't know what it is with MSFS 2024, but frames aren't the greatest. Frames aren't the greatest. Of course, I've got dynamic settings turned off because I really hate the way how it degrades visual quality. But apart from that, it is pretty decent. Anyway. That's enough. Let's jump on into the cockpit. There we go. We're ready for getting on out of here. Release parking brake right there. Luna Thompson, how are you doing, mate? How are you doing? Luna Thompson, what's up? What is up? What is up? Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. My day's going all right. It's going all right. Hopefully it gets better as we take off and start flying here. How's your day going, mate? Let's see. Which way are we supposed to get on out of here, by the way? Yeah, we'll turn right here. Okay. Good. All right. Good to hear that you're doing well. Good to hear that you're doing well. On our way. On our way. And again, this aircraft is absolutely gorgeous. For a free aircraft, like I've said, it's an absolutely good good addition to your Flight Sim 2024 fleet. Today was very busy for you. What were you up to? What were you up to? Hopefully it was a productive day, but what were you up to? Okay. Coming up on the runway here. Perfect. Do we need to do anything before takeoff? We actually don't. So let's go ahead and open up our throttles a little bit. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Perfect. Ooh, very slippery today. 70, let's get on out of here. There we go. Nice and easy. Flaps up. Beautiful. Busy in your artwork. Oh, what kind of art do you do? I'm somewhat of an artist myself. What kind of art do you do? Beautiful. Beautiful view of Chicago. Let's loop around here, take a look at the airfield first before we go exploring in the city. Look at these boats, man. I really like them. Really, really like them. What a beautiful view. Anyway, let's turn around here. Gotta be mindful of the speed and the RPM on this aircraft because it is very slippery and it loves to speed up. It is not kind in that department, so we gotta be really, really careful with that. But it's a gentle flying aircraft nonetheless. But we've got one major mistake going on here. Our alternators are off. Turn that on there. Anyway, not a biggie. Hopefully we did not drain the batteries too much. How cool. How cool says, I love this. Welcome to the stream. How cool. Is that how you say that name? I'm just gonna call you Mr. Cool. Welcome to the stream, mate. I'm glad you're enjoying this. So let's go ahead and take a look at our lovely airstrip that we just took off from. Look at how good it looks from up here. And look at all those boats at the piers. Very, very nice. Look at this. Gorgeous stuff. Gotta be a little careful with the speed here. But look at that. You designed some logo, banner, overlay, and okay, that is cool, man. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, that is how you say it. Okay. Then I shall call you How Cool. Great. Great. EM through the streets. Of course, why not? We can have some fun through the streets. Why not? That is exactly what we're gonna do, mate. You guessed it. But first, we're just gonna fly a little tame here. Fly a little tame here, you know, enjoy the scenery like a normal person would fly an aircraft. And then we're gonna go wild, as we must. Look at that. That is gorgeous stuff. Okay, let's turn in and have a look at the city a little closer, shall we? Good. Let's have a look. Gorgeous Chicago. Oh, there is a perfect little street right ahead of us. So let's go ahead and dive into that, shall we? We're going to cut back the throttle completely. This aircraft does not like bleeding speed. It doesn't bleed speed very easily, so kind of have to force it to do that. Okay, let's see what we can do flying a little low here. Take a look at Chicago. Sure, EM, we can have a bit of both. How about that? It's still going to be a pretty tame flight here today. We're just enjoying ourselves in the Piper Dakota, which is a fairly gentle flying aircraft. So even though we're flying through the street, it's still going to be quite gentle. Nothing too strenuous, you know? Let's see how my frames hold up doing this. Let's see how my frames do while we fly through the streets here. Because, yeah, just a little bit of a hiccup I've been having over the past few days with the frames here and there. Would I like to see your custom things? You mean the stuff that you designed, mate? I mean, if you're doing that for somebody else, I won't recommend you share it on the internet. But if it's just stuff that you're doing on the side, sure, man. I'd love to take a look at it. Yeah, man. How cool. It doesn't even matter what GPS you have, man. Microsoft Flight Sim is rough. It is rough. Like, even if you have top line GPU, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you. This thing is not optimized at all. Okay, that was a bit of fun. Let's find another street and let's weave through more buildings, shall we? Let's wave through a few more buildings. Look at that. There's a bit of a delay there. That is gorgeous. That is some gorgeous stuff. Yeah, let's go back into the city. Why not? Now, I know it doesn't make much sense to cut the throttle back and then make such a turn, but in this aircraft you better do that, otherwise you're gonna slip into overspeed in a second. So that's something I don't think is very realistic with this aircraft, really. The speed modeling is, I'm pretty sure, is off. There's no way an aircraft that is chunky like this can speed up the way it does in here. That doesn't make much sense, does it? Okay, let's go back down through... Where did we come from? I think we came from here. So let me try and weave my way into the heart of the city, more or less. Look at how low our throttle is, and we're like 110 knots at the moment. Let's weave our way in through here. See how that goes for us. These buildings, by the way, if you touch them, you will crash. You will crash. I've tested that. Really cool. EM2, yeah, you could use FSX, but but even with a perfect computer these days, Flight Sim is just heavy. You can just fly X-Plane, man. X-Plane is much easier to handle, in my opinion. Do I have Discord or something? I don't have Discord just yet. No, wait, sorry. I do have Discord. You know what? I'm gonna link my Discord somewhere there. I'm gonna put that in somewhere. I don't use Discord at all. I'll start doing that. Luna. So you can send stuff on Discord. Let me set that up. I'll set that up and I'll make sure to put it in the relevant descriptions or whatever it is that you can see on Twitch. I'll make sure I do that. So yeah, check back in a while, and then you should find something related to my Discord on my channel. Terrain, pull up. Oh no, luckily we don't have that nonsense on this aircraft. It's just slow, gentle flying. Really cool. Okay. All right. Now that we've taken a quick look at the city, let's get on out of here and let's go towards our final destination. Or rather, we will perform a few landings or touch and goes or something like that, and then we'll go in for landing. Plus, because I do have viewers and the chat is active, what do you guys think? After we land into O'Hare, I could take out the 737 MAX. Depends on how many viewers are in town. I could take out the 737 MAX and we could go on over to Denver. We could fly southwest. There's a real life flight that we could actually perform from Chicago to Denver. All right, Luna. Got your Discord tag right there. Perfect. I'll set up my Discord and I'll be sure to hit you up there. What's cruising altitude for this one? There's no cruising altitude. We've just set 4,000 feet as a backup for the autopilot. If you can check to your right side, you'll see that there's a 4,000 feet displayed on the autopilot unit there. That is just a backup in case we need to give the aircraft off to the autopilot. but we most likely won't need to do that today. We most likely won't need to do that. We could take a look at the autopilot. There's no harm in that. How cool says yes, the 737 Max, please. Wait, do you have multiplayer on? No, I don't have multiplayer on. How cool, I do not have multiplayer on. I don't have it on. If you want me to play multiplayer, I could turn that on from the next live stream. I can turn it on from the next live stream. The reason I have it off at the moment is usually it makes my frames go wild. There's usually some issues with multiplayer. That is why I have it off, but I can turn it on from the next live stream most likely, but usually I don't have it on. Can you please add me on Discord? Yeah, I will do that, Luna. I will do that. Once I get all of that dusted up again, because I don't really use my Discord, but I have it there, I shall make sure that I add you and we will... I'll take a look. EM says Miami, maybe to Miami, or is it too far? It's too far. Miami is too far. I mean, Denver is also quite far, but it's 2 hours something, but Miami is going to be a little too far. Plus, it's a real life flight that we're flying from O'Hare to Denver on the Southwest airline. That is actually a real flight operated by the 737 MAX. 737 MAX, yeah, but I'm giving the Asobo 737 MAX another shot. Because the last time I tried to fly it, it was absolutely unflyable. I believe it's become much improved now, so I want to give that a shot. Okay, let me give it off to the autopilot here. Let me ask it to hold altitude around 4,000 feet. I'm gonna say fly my heading. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to cut the throttle back slightly so we don't overspeed here. Okay, better for real. All right, yeah, since you guys want me to fly the 737 MAX, I guess that's what we're doing today. That is what we're doing today. Fly into Chicago O'Hare, and then we'll get back into the menu, maybe restart the sim as well, just to make sure we don't have any issues while we fly the aircraft. And then we'll jump on into the 737 MAX, and on to Denver we go. On to Denver we go. Okay. Coming up with some clouds here. Perhaps we should descend. Not really. Beautiful. Okay, so we're flying in the general direction of Chicago O'Hare at the moment. Just gonna go in and mess around a little bit. Perhaps perform a landing there. At least a touch and go and then a landing or something. And then we can hop on into the 737 MAX and get on out of here. Beautiful. The Dakota. I don't know if it's just me, but I love the name Dakota. It is one of my favorite names. Have you ever tried VR? VR, no. I haven't tried VR. The closest thing I try is I have head tracking. I do have the stuff for head tracking. Unfortunately, I haven't set it up today, but I do have head tracking. I'll start live streaming more with head tracking. That's kind of fun. I'm not a big fan of VR. I'm just not a big fan of VR. I prefer head tracking if I need to do it. But even that, I just prefer regular flying the most, and then followed by head tracking. Head tracking is quite good. It's quite fun, I'm not gonna lie, but it depends. If you get good frames, head tracking is great, but most of the time you don't get really good frames. You're gonna have to turn down your graphic settings to get good frames, and it's kind of a bummer. I mean, although I could turn down some graphic settings and you won't even be able to tell the difference, quite frankly. Many of these graphic settings are a little bit of overkill, but you know. And at the moment, I think we're okay right now, right? Yeah, we're okay. And I subbed. Thank you very much, Akul, for subbing. I really appreciate that, mate. I really, really appreciate that. Classic stuff. Yep, EM. Yep. Thank you. That definitely helps me out. Okay, we're coming up on O'Hare International, as you can tell. It's right ahead of us, right there. Let's just go in and take a loop around. Have a look at this beautiful airport. We'll also descend down to 3,000 feet now. Arm that VS. Let's go down. And I need to cut that throttle completely at this point to prevent some overspeeding from going on. There we go. We'll turn back in towards the airport like this. There it is. We're gonna fly around it and then come back into land. Okay. Just gonna take a quick look at it, loop around, and then we'll come back into land at Chicago O'Hare. Very, very nice. Still flying here on autopilot. It's quite easy to fly by hand or by autopilot. This is a very, very gentle, docile aircraft here. Very cool. Again, Chicago O'Hare is also handcrafted in MSFS. If we scoot over here to the other side, it is a decent looking airport, isn't it? I love the way how the runways look, which is strange for me to say because usually I hate the way how the runways and taxiways in Microsoft Flight Sim looks, but this one looks really good. Got some traffic right there, always lovely to see. Beautiful. We're just gonna skirt around the airport and then come back into land. It'll be a nice landing. Then from there we'll switch on over to the 737 MAX by Asobo. Okay, let me turn our aircraft in this way. Basically flying over the airport at this point. Just keep it this. Yep, there we go. The wick is also modeled on this aircraft, which I really like. It's a nice little detail that adds to immersion better than you think. You know? What is that? Overspeed? Oh. What's going on? What is going on? Why is it making so much noise? Do we have an issue here? Any issue with the fuel? No. What just caused that beeping? I have no idea why that was happening. Anyway. There we go. We're gonna turn in there. Take a look at the airport. Beautiful. We're just sightseeing at this point. Ah, the mixture. Yep, you're right. The mixture. It might be the mixture, but good thing is in this aircraft it's not modeled. Well, that's not a good thing. I actually prefer stuff that's modeled really, really well. The engine isn't modeled properly, so even if we leave the mixture here, it's not really going to do anything. We could pull it back slightly. It doesn't matter. So I'm not used to working with a mixture in this aircraft because it doesn't need it really. Okay, let's make one more 90-degree turn, fly along this runway, and then we will take another 90-degree turn, come along this way. There's a city off in the distance, and well, that's not the city we flew around. That's somewhere around here. There's some other buildings. I believe we're looking at Evanston over there, probably. And then we're going to turn in this way, come in this way, and we're going to land at any one of these runways. Pretty much that's what we're doing today. Okay, so let's make our second last 90-degree turn. Carenado aircraft. It's really nice. The texture, the modeling is really cool, but like I said, the engine's not modeled really well, which is a big part of flying GA aircraft if you're really into flight sim, which I am, so that's a bit of a shame, but you know, it's a free aircraft, so definitely not expecting anything more. Okay, that is a better view of the airport right there. Looking good. Looking good, but MSFS 2020 would probably look a little bit better than that. Probably will. Okay, that isn't too terrible at all. Alright, it is about time for us to land now. It is time for us to land. So let's see. Let's try and pick a runway here. There's this one here. I know there's a couple this side. There's one here as well. We got plenty of options here to land into. Let me just pick one that is very close to the GA parkings, shall I? Again, even then we have quite a bit of choice. We're spoiled for choice, really. Okay, I have an idea. I know which one to land on. We'll land on 27C. Land into runway 27C probably. It's the final countdown. Okay, I'm not gonna get myself started with that because that thing's gonna get stuck in my head. Alright, we have that. We've got, where on earth is 27C here? That's 27C. And then we can come in and park our aircraft right there. Okay, let's go in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go in. It's pretty high, but I'm just gonna take manual control here, and we're gonna land our aircraft. So let me do that. Yeah, once it gets stuck in your head, you screwed. Mixture rich, that down. Carburetor heats off. AP trim. That's fine, I can leave it on. AP off, thank you very much. Let's descend. Okay, I see the runway. The thing with this aircraft is it doesn't like losing speed at all. Let's put down our flaps here. Help it to lose some speed. Flaps to position 2. There we go, that's better. That is much, much better. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, this is actually nice and easy. Just keep going right here. 27C. I hope I'm going for 27C. I can't really tell. Yeah, I think we're going for 27C. Yeah, see? It's incredibly hard to drop the speed here, so I'm going to just side slip it a little bit. Even that's not gonna help us lose a lot of speed. It's okay, long runway, so we can take our sweet time. We can take our sweet, sweet time. Those aircrafts look a little big in that parking that I'm aiming for. Look at this thing. For the love of God. It's still at... It is so quick. Still at 90 knots here. Side slipping is doing very little to help with the speeds. Okay, I don't think that's the mixture. 'Cause, okay, I'm just gonna take my time. Float it in. Come on, speed, bleed off. They need to fix the speed model. I really don't think this is how the real aircraft would behave. Okay, we don't have sky dolly running for this one. Apologies about that, ladies and gentlemen, but... Okay. We will have Sky Dolly running in the next flight, obviously. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. You know what? We could just continue taxiing here because there's a bunch of parkings up ahead of us. So we could just use that. Flaps up though. Flaps up. That is a long time to be taxiing as a GA aircraft on a major runway. Anyway, we can take the taxiway here and we can find ourselves a nice little parking meant for itty bitty planes like us out here among the big fish at Chicago O'Hare. Somewhere near us is supposed to be a taxiway. If I can find it. I think I see it. There it is. There we go. Nice and easy. Landing lights off. Thank you very much. Fuel pumps can remain off now. We don't really need the fuel pump. Okay. Oh, that was actually a taxiway. Give it a bit of throttle and we can go on and find ourselves a parking. Yep, that was a good landing. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Okay. Come on, give me a GA parking spot somewhere around here. I know there is a parking spot somewhere around here. Might not be very easy for us to find at the moment. We got two options here. We can go this way or that way. Huh. Well, let's go. Which way do I choose? Well, let's go this way. What the hell? Let's go this way. Yep, let's go this way. Let's go this way. We'll go this way and that should take us towards a couple of parkings somewhere there. And we'll leave our little GA aircraft parked right here. And we'll shut it down. And as discussed, 737 MAX. I need to load up the Simbri for that, don't I? Yeah, I do. To load up the flight plan there, but not too bad. Apparently these are parkings right in front of us. Don't know what kind of parkings these are, but we're just gonna leave it nice and easy right here. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go because I need to eat breakfast. Bye. See ya, how cool. See ya. See ya. All right. We're just gonna leave our aircraft here right now. Let's go ahead and shut it down, shall we? Cut that out. Turn that off. Turn that off. Fuel selector to off. Pull that back down. Turn that off. Turn that off as well. Well, before we do, let's put that off. And flaps are up. Everything else is in the correct place. There we go. Turn everything off. Okay, that was a nice little hop. A fun little flight. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Very, very cool. All right, let's now jump into the 737 MAX right here at Chicago O'Hare. And then we'll find ourselves flying out to Denver. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna have to restart the sim here. And while the sim does restart here, I have to go to main menu. I'm gonna have to quit to desktop. Yeah, I'm going to have to restart the sim here because if I don't, we might have a little bit of issues as we try to fly. So yeah, just restarting the sim nice and easy. So we'll be back with the sim in just a second. We'll be back with the sim just a second. All right. Oh, cool. I won't be able to turn on multiplayer on this stream, I'm afraid. I'm gonna have to mess with my settings a little bit to do that. You know what? I'll still give it a. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Let me try and turn on multiplayer. Let me try and turn on multiplayer. Let's see. It depends if the settings. If I do that, my frames might suffer, so I'm not too sure. Let me try. Okay, I'll try that. I'll try that. Okay. Sim brief. Let me set up our sim brief. Sim brief. Okay. So the flight details for this one. Okay, so it's KORD to KDEN. And we're flying the 737 MAX 8, if I'm not completely mistaken. Yeah, it is a 737 MAX 8 that we're flying. If I can find it here. If I can find it here in SimBrief. Come on, where on earth is it? I always have trouble locating this thing. Okay, there it is. Found it. Hold on, my 7600 is sounding like an old car. What do you mean? What do you mean? You're having a little bit of issues? Well, I won't be able to hold for too long. Gotta keep the stream moving here. But hopefully you'll be able to catch us. Let me see, mate.
FS Realistic.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do... No, I got that. I got that. I don't think I'll be able to do multiplayer here. Just by the way how the sim is loading up, it's loading up real nasty here. Real nasty. Okay. Let me put... there we go. Let me go ahead and finish up here really quickly. On the Max, setting up the sim brief for the Max. We have that in pounds. That's good. Text entries is on FDN. That is fine. Okay, we need our codes here. Flight number for today. The flight number in real life is WN3969er. So we got WN3969. That is the real life flight that we're flying today. Chicago to Denver on Southwest Airlines. 737 MAX 8 that we are flying out today. We also have the option of United A321neo. Perhaps I'll leave that for another day. For today, we'll fly the Southwest 737 MAX 8. That being said, I need to check out what the codes are here. Give me just a second. And once that's set up, we'll be ready to go in no time here. Okay. Southwest Airlines. Perfect. I believe the sim brief plan is ready now, so I'm gonna hop on in here. Hop on in here. Yep, I'm in. Sim brief is ready. Load that plan into little nav map as well. Done. Done, sir, done. We need to look at some information, some basic information. Are we flying directly out of the runway here in... Oh, come on. We don't have a departure out of Chicago O'Hare? I want a departure. Let me just pick up a departure here first. I like to have a departure procedure. We're taking off from runway 09C. So we need something for runway 09C. Oh, never mind. It's pretty much direct out, or we could use OR8D if we wanted to. So yeah, we can use OR8D. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Okay, we'll set that up there. For our arrival, we're using Logger 3. That is fine. That is fine. We're landing into runway 16 left at Denver. Just setting up the ILS for that. 16 left. Where is 16 left? 16 left ILS. We're going to insert that as well. ILS Leeds. Perfect. That all sounds fantastic. Let me just export that new flight plan. Got ourselves a deal. Copy. Okay, in the meantime, let me load up our aircraft here. Let's put that on the 737. What do we have? Southwest 737 MAX. There we go. That'll do. Let's come into Chicago O'Hare. Okay, Chicago O'Hare. We're taking off from runway 9C, which is somewhere here. No, sorry. Where is it? Where is it? 9C is here. Runway 9C is right there. How does it make any sense? Does it? That doesn't make much sense. Well, it has to, because apparently that's where we're supposed to be taking off from. Okay, runway 9C is right here. So we're going to park ourselves. Where shall we park? Park at a small gate somewhere here to make our life a little easier there. Yeah, we can park at any one of these gates, really. I'll park right here. Okay, I'll park right here, and then we'll taxi out by... Yeah, that's... something wrong with that. Wait, hold on. Yeah, there's something wrong with that. 9C is right here. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. This glitch threw me off. Anyway, we can park ourselves right about there. Yeah, we'll park ourselves here, and then we'll turn our nose to the right today. That's pretty much all we need. Excellent. Excellent. Let's get that going. Might need to change the thumbnail and title on this one, because we are, after all, flying a new route. So I'm going to have to do that later, I guess. I'll do that en route. I'll change up the thumbnails and stuff. Okay. Perfect. We're in. We are in, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to, well, whoa, frame rate there took a little bit of a hit, but I think we'll be okay. Perfect. Perfect. I think we're ready to rumble. Oh, hello there. Hello there. Taking a look at my chat here. Aviation Tray. Aviation Tray. F1 Racer. Misformed TV. Hans Hicks. Welcome. Good evening, mate. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please allow 3 to 5 business days for a reaction. My bad, mate. I was putting in the flight plan and all that. Got real busy right there, but I'm here now. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello. That is very much so. Thank you so much, guys, for popping in there. Thank you so much for popping in. Thank you so much. All right. Welcome, guys. Hands Fix, Misinformed TV, F1 Racer, Aviation Trey. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for popping in. Aviation Trey, I downloaded Aero Genesis A330-300 in X-Plane 12. I flew it. I am ready for that stream. That's gonna come real soon in the next couple of days, man. That's coming in the next couple of days as promised. I did download it. I flew it around. It's great. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Just trying to study the difference between the default and that so that I can talk about that on stream. But yeah. Hope you're having a good day. I am, mate. I am. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I did like it. I have it installed and I've already started flying it, just getting a little bit more familiar with X-Plane in general before I pop on stream. But yeah, I'm almost there. In the next couple of days, I'll definitely be performing my first X-Plane 12 stream as promised, and it's gonna be with the Aero Genesis A330-300. Yep. Appreciate you coming in to the chat with your friends there, mate. Appreciate it very much. Okay, so we have everything set up here, and I'm ready to get on out of O'Hare International. We've got our 737 MAX, so let's perform a little walk around here. We'll go around our aircraft. Let me set up the nav bar on top so you guys can see where we're flying and the flight details. It's going to be from Chicago O'Hare to Denver International. That's what we're doing today. In case you missed it, Hand 6 rated with a viewer count of 8. I think I saw it. Yes, I did. Hans Hicks. Yep. I did. Hans Hicks, thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm very new on Twitch, as you can tell. I have no idea how this thing works, but learning. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. Thank you for the follow as well. Thank you very, very much. Indeed. Oh, there it is. I can see it. I see it. I've got my activity feed and everything going now. Still very new to Twitch. But yeah, thank you so much to Luna, Hans Hicks for the follow and also for the raid on Twitch. Misformed TV, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate it very, very much, mate. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully you enjoy hanging out with me on stream. All good. Yeah, thank you. Doing well. I'm just teasing you. Ignore me. No worries, mate. Knock yourself out. Misformed TV. Big thanks to Trey for the recommendation. Oh, thank you very much, Trey. Thank you. You did deliver. You did bring your friends over. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that very, very much indeed. And yeah, there's that lovely stream to look forward to with the Aero Genesis. Anyway, let's just continue on our walk around here. Taking a look at that. You know, the model isn't that bad, is it? No, it isn't. It's not bad at all. Okay. This is the default Asobo 737 MAX, not the iFly one. I thought I would give this aircraft one more shot because the last time I tried to fly it, my god, this thing was all over the place. It couldn't even hold a steady course or heading or altitude, nothing. It was all over the place, like the real 737 MAX pretty much. So yeah, that was terrible. But this time around, I'm hoping for something better. Anyway, that's enough of the walk around mode. Let's jump into the cockpit here. Cold and dark, as you guys can see. I think we have ground power available. Yes, we do. Misformed TV Trey was saying you fly for Southwest for a job. Is this true? No, mate. I don't fly for Southwest. I do not fly for Southwest. I'm pretty sure Trey did not tell you that. Did he? Because I never said that. F1 Racer, yeah. Do you have a Volanta? I do have Volanta. I do have Volanta. Yeah, I do. I actually do. I just don't fly much on it. I have a lot of stuff I don't use, man. I need to get more active. It's just I'm not used to having a lot of viewers, so I'll just hop on there. Hopefully, I'm visible to everybody. I'm not sure if I'm visible to Volanta. Am I visible? Privacy there on Volanta. I'm gonna make myself public there. You know what? Yeah, let me do that. Yep, you should be able to see me on Volanta now. You should be able to see me on Volanta. I don't have a lot of details updated on Volanta, but you should be able to see me on Volanta. Trey with his jokes again, damn it. Ah, yeah. You guys seem like a bunch of fun guys to be around, so yeah, he's probably pulling your leg. I don't fly for Southwest, man. If I flew for a commercial airline, I would be fired a long time ago. There's a reason I didn't become a pilot. There's a reason I didn't become a pilot, because I do crazy stuff all the time. Yeah, I can't help it, you know. I just can't help it. All right. Great. Let's go ahead and get this started off from cold and dark, shall we? Let's do that. Before we do, let me show you guys today's route on Little Nav Map, which is my navigation software of choice. Okay, here we are at Chicago O'Hare. There we go. That's us. The green little bird is us. And we're going to head on over to Denver. Right there. As you can tell, it's a straightforward route, nothing complicated. Straight in. We're going to use the ILS to get ourselves into runway 16 left. But we are obviously going to be landing it manually. Otherwise, what's the point of flying? So there you go. That is a little overlook on our route for the day on Little Nav Map, just so you guys have a clue of what's going on today. Great. Time to get ourselves started up. Shall we do that here? Let's do that. Emergency lights armed. Thank you very much. Ground power. What? Okay, it's coming to life. Good. Good. What else we got? Let's go up here. Let's align the IRS there. How long is that supposed to take? Come on, tell me how long it's supposed to take, mate. God knows. Okay, we're just gonna continue here. Voice recorder, I want that on here. I'll turn on. Oh, we'll do that in a bit. Passenger signs, we're just gonna put them on here. That's fine. What else? I have no idea how to import SimBrief on this thing. I just realized that. I have no idea how to do that. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Probably here. Do we have a SimBrief in here? Wait and... oh, good lord, we don't, do we? Wait and balance. Oh, lord. No worries. You know what we'll do? We're gonna set up our FMC the good old-fashioned way. How about that? We'll do it the good old-fashioned way, right? And then we'll double-check our loading from this tab on the tablet here. So we'll do it that way. Why not? We'll do it that way. Not an issue. Not an issue, ladies and gentlemen. I have GSX today, but I don't think it's going to work properly, but I'll give it a shot. No problems. No problems. Okay, let me continue on here with the initial setup. I've got packs off for the time being. That is automatic. That is open at the moment. All the bleeds are off. What do we have? Position lights. Let's put that on steady there. Emergency lights armed. That is all done. That is all fine for the time being. I'm not going to change any of this just yet. I know we should turn on our heats and stuff, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Okay, as long as we're on ground power, which we are, we don't really need to do anything else just yet. Okay, great. All right, IRS is aligned. Not very realistic there, but it is aligned nonetheless. So let's jump into our FMC, get it started up. Okay, GPS, come on. GPS, I'll pick up Well, they're all the same anyway. They are all the same anyway. Okay, we're already done with it. Anyway, no, but we don't really need that, do we? We're already done with it. Silly me. Reference airport is KORD. That is Chicago O'Hare, right there. Brilliant. Moving on to our route here for the day. It is supposed to be KORD. Clear that, my bad. Gonna head on over to KDen, which is Denver. Okay, flight number today. Let's pick that up. SWA. That's not the flight number. For the love of God, why does SimBrief do that? Call sign. Really? Really? You're gonna give me a Lufthansa call sign? Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. It's given me Lufthansa from my previous flight. Let me go ahead and change that. Copy that. Come on. Call sign is... I've got a interesting call sign for us today. There we go. That is better. Flight number is correct. Okay, that's great. Great. Okay. Flight number is WN3969. That is a flight number. Takeoff runway out of Chicago O'Hare today is 09C. Okay. That is 9C there. Oh, come on. Come on. Why are you so mean to me today? There we go. 09C. Route. Let's put our route in manually here. What are we doing today? We are doing all-in. All-in. That is pretty much direct there. Then we are heading on over to Oreos. Okay, Oreos. Something called Oreos there. Then we're gonna head on over to Obene. Obene. By the way, Elevatics. I don't know if who asked me if I'm on Volanta. F1 Racer. I don't know if you use Elevatics. That is my preferred network to be flying on, Elevatics over Volanta. Although currently at the moment I'm using both. So yeah. Okay, Obene to Ogale, or Ogale, whatever you want to call it as. We're just getting direct stuff today, huh? Brewery. Just direct stuff today. Huh, I hope we don't choose... Well, it's the same thing. Okay, great. That is done. We're going to activate it. And then let's go to our departure for today. It's just going to be this one right there. Perfect. Index arrival for today is going to be landing into runway 16 left with the ILS in Denver. And we're going to use... Yeah, Logger 4. How about that? There we go. Execute that. Let's go to our legs here. Let's see. What do we got? We got a discontinuity there. From Logger up there, please. Any other discontinuities? Another one right there. From Kick Me. Execute that. Okay, go to legs. Okay, fine. I think we're okay now. Yeah, that is fine for the time being. Let's come here. Now this is going to be interesting. Let's see how we can set this up. Let's see how I can set this up. Okay. Before I do any of that, let me go to settings, weight and balance. We're gonna set this up. Passenger count 100. SimBrief says 177. This aircraft can carry 172. So we're gonna go max passenger count. What? cargo. We need to change the cargo here. Cargo 9,735 pounds. Let's do that. And then we'll go max passenger count. Yep. Oh, it can still only do 156 with 9,735 pounds of cargo. Fuel on board, that is supposed to be 40. Good lord. Let's see. 40,710. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Zero fuel weight is 136. That is also fine, I guess. That is not looking very good there. That is not looking good. Add ballast there. Still out of CG. Okay, let's just go ahead and do what we need to do. We'll add a bunch of ballast to get ourselves in. What? This doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem right. Come on, man. No, this is terrible. Okay, let's just go ahead and see what we can do. Maybe carry more cargo than we need to. How much can we carry now? As long as I get some sort of decent setup, I'm good. Cargo. Okay, I think this is fine. How many passengers can we carry now? 121. Okay, that is fine. We're just gonna leave it like this. That's gonna be our loading for today. That is fine. Let's now come to our performance. Zero fuel weight is going to be 142. 142? What the hell? None of this makes any sense, man. None of this makes any sense. Okay, whatever. Fuel sensed is 4,700. That is fine. Cost index for the day. I'm gonna use something a little high here. I'm gonna use something like 40 here. 350 as cruising altitude. I'm gonna second that. 350. Reserve fuels. Let me have a look at how much reserve fuel is estimated. It's gonna be wildly wrong. I know it is. 2.1. 2.1. Okay, I hope this is somewhere in the ballpark, but that's what we have. Transition altitude at 18,000 feet. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. Let me execute that. N1 limit. Do we need to derate our thrust here today? I really don't think so. But let me see what SimBrief says in all its wisdom. So let me go ahead and do that. See if we need to derate our thrust here today. Populate from last flight. Thank you very much. Calculate that. It tells us to derate the thrust. So I'm going to derate it here with a temperature of 49. That's what I'm going to use here. This is the max 8. Okay. Okay. So takeoff here. Flaps setting is 5. Center of gravity. Apparently it's 7 now. 8.5. Trim. Okay. That sounds fine. We're going to have to set the trim there. Let's come out back to legs. We got VNAV available now. That is brilliant. Good to see. Coming back to performance here, we need to set up our trim at 8.50, ladies and gentlemen. 8.50. So 5 is here, 6, 7, 8 is here, 9 is there. That's right at the edge of what we can do to take off. Oh, okay. Right. Oh, that's too much. What? It won't stop spinning. It's just not gonna. Oh god. Okay, I'm just gonna bring it back up to 8.5 here, which is basically the edge of what we can take off with. Great. Yeah, that's pretty much what we can take off with here today. Can't do more than that, can we? Let me try and get a more finer control here. There we go. 8.5 right there. Perfect. I'm not going to go any more than that. Anything else here? Any reference index, please? Thank you very much. Approach stuff. We're going to take this in a little later. Yeah, we're going to do that a little later, obviously. Brilliant. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe, if I'm not wrong, we are almost ready to get on out of here. But just before we do, let's go to GSX. Let's request boarding and see what happens. Let me request boarding. Southwest. Do we have Southwest? We don't have Southwest here, do we? So I'm just gonna go with whatever is recommended. Apparently GSX says United. I'm just gonna go with ASIG there. Okay, is it working? Oh, the gates are working. Thank goodness for that. Boarding process is beginning up, and while that does, let me go ahead and get our passengers a little bit more comfortable with the APU going and stuff. All right, so I'm gonna turn on the APU here. APU on, please. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead with window heats and probe heats on there. Hydraulic pumps on there. Waiting for the APU to come to life, and that's gonna take a bit. Once APU comes to life, we can switch power from ground, and I'll get the packs, the bleeds going. I'll get the packs going as well for our passengers. So yeah, we'll do that in just a bit. We can turn on the yaw damper now as well. That is cool. Let's have a bit of lights on the panel, just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Okay, all that sounds good. Great. That isn't looking terrible at the moment. Oh, we need the aft fuel pump there. Kind of forgot about that. Okay, aft fuel pump on, APU running. Good. Passenger loading should have begun here. Yep. That's good. And we've got cargo loading going on as well. What is happening with my traffic injection? Do I have traffic injection running? Oh, my bad. Let's inject some traffic in here. No wonder it looks so barren. I'm like, what is going on? This is Chicago. We got no aircrafts. Okay, traffic injection going there. Brilliant. We're looking good. We are looking good. Fantastic. There you go. That's more like what we want. Okay, let's switch to APU power pretty much. Let's turn on APU bleed here. Let's turn on our packs there as well. This will turn on just the left pack. Okay, great. Let's set up our cruising altitude for the day. We said it's 35,000 feet. So let's go ahead and do that here. Flight altitude 35,000. There we go. And landing altitude. What is the elevation in Denver? We'll use a little nav map to check that. Very easy to do that. Elevation at Denver is 5,366 feet. 5,366. That is very high. 5,366. Good Lord. 5,000 please. 5,000 coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Just a minute. 366. So we go 350. Yeah, we'll go 350. That is the closest to 5,366 feet in elevation at Denver. Great. Oh, look at those frames there. Before I go in, you know what? Let me go and set in the MCP here. Local pressure today is, what is it? Do we have live weather going? I want live weather. Come on. Real time live weather, mate. Always live. Give me some live weather. Okay, live weather there. Perfect. Let's check our barometric pressure. 29.97 for the day. That is fine. FD on both sides. Auto throttle armed. Cruising altitude, we're going to climb out to 10,000 first, and then from there we'll do a step climb towards our cruising altitude. VNav is working, LNav is working. That is all beautiful stuff for us. Heading here, I'm going to set it approximately to the runway heading. There we go, that's pretty much it. Speed here, what was our V2? Let me come into this thing here. Come to V2 was 161. I'm going to go 181. And I'll climb out speed more or less. You know what, let's just go 161 because we are very heavy today. So it's not going to... The climb performance isn't going to be great probably. So 161 is what I'm going to go with. Exactly on V2. There we go. That is set up, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing else here for us to do while we wait for boarding to finish up, which is almost done actually. Okay, we got another Southwest there, 737 MAX. It looks like a MAX, I'm not sure. Is it a MAX? No, it's not a MAX. It's not a MAX. Okay. Great. We're just taking a look at what is the traffic situation here in Chicago. And it's framey. That is what the situation in Chicago is. A little bit framey, but not too terrible. There we go, looking good. Is that an MD-80? What is that? No, it's not. My bad. That is a much more recent jet there. Looks like a CRJ or something. What is this thing? I don't know what this is. Yeah, it's a CRJ, right? It seems like a CRJ. Not very familiar with the CRJ, I wouldn't really know. But yeah, there we go. Looking good, looking good. What else do we got going on at O'Hare? Anything interesting going on? What else? What else? Oh, that's pretty much it, huh? Okay, this is us here, taking sweet time to load the livery, 2024 style. Those frames don't look good. As we spin around, those frames do not look good. Yeah, they don't look good. But anyway, it's not too terrible, I suppose. I don't like the performance. I'm really not enjoying the performance here. Yeah, I don't like it. I do not like it. Anyway, boarding is about done here. Cargo loading is about done here. So yeah, almost done. Should I switch to DLSS? Maybe I should switch to DLSS just to get a little bit of better performance. I could switch to DLSS. I am not sure if I should. It's gonna make everything blurry though, so... You know what, I'm just gonna leave it like this. I mean, it's not too terrible. We can still fly like this, I guess. Yeah, it's not too terrible. Okay, heading back into the cockpit here. With atrocious frame rates again. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is, huh? It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Okay. Pretty much ready to go here. Mass and balance, we've got, according to this, 168 seats. 107 passengers. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna leave this. If we come to... this right here. I could load up our flight plan on this if we wanted to do that. You know what? Let's do that. While we wait for the thing to finish up here, let's do that. Let us do just that. So I could open up a plan file. And I could load up something here. Chicago to Denver. There we go. We loaded it up. Let's send it to ATC. Doesn't do anything here. It's not showing up. Doesn't do anything here. Okay, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Alright, I'm gonna go to GSX and request pushback and departure here. Is our parking brake up? Yeah, it is up. What else do we have here in terms of... Give me a second. Where is our TCAS? Where is our TCAS again? They're right here. Okay, great. ILS, we need to tune our ILS as well. We can do that in a bit, but I at least need to know exactly what the ILS frequency is. The ILS is 16 left today, right? So the track to fix 252. What? Oh, no, sorry. Give me a second. ILS 16L, what is the track here? What is it? It is 173 slash, what is the frequency on ILS? It is 111.10. Okay, we've got our ILS information we need to fly into Denver. Okay, 111.10. It's perfect. Oh, hold on, nose to the right here. Release parking brakes. Clear to start engines, ladies and gentlemen. Did you hear that? Let's go ahead and do that right away. If I can get myself up here in the first place. Okay, APU bleed is on. APU is on. That is fine. What the hell? What on earth? What? Did you guys just see that? Well, hello there, GSX. What happened there? What happened there? Okay, anyway, at least we didn't crash. I've got damage and everything fully on, so really glad we didn't crash there. Anti-collision lights on, fuel pumps to on there. That's fine. Packs to off there. Ignition left, auto there. Let's see. Okay, engine coming to life. Engine coming to life. Got fuel in the center tank. Okay, why do I have fuel in the center tank for a journey over to Denver? I've made a mistake, haven't I? Yep, I have. I've made a little bit of a mistake, ladies and gentlemen. We got way too much fuel on board. That is my mistake. Okay, we're gonna fix that after we turn on the engines here. Parking brake set. Engine started. Let me start the next engine right there. And we need to go back into the FMC and make some changes because I made a mistake here. I've definitely made a mistake. Okay. Engine number 2 coming to life. Okay, great. We are pretty much ready. Now, before I go any further, let me turn on dynamic settings here. Give me a second, guys. Just go here, turn on dynamic settings for a second. I'm going to bring my frame rate back down to 30 or even 25. There we go. DLSS is on, all that is fine. Okay, save and back. Okay, that should improve frame rate slightly, at least. Okay, so we've made a mistake, like I've said, and I need to rectify that. Before I do, let me go up there. Turn on engine bleeds, turn off APU bleeds there, turn on the packs, both of them. There we go. We're going to put that on automatic there. Switch our power to the engines and turn off APU there completely. And that should get us pretty much ready here. Taxi lights can come off for the... No, we'll turn them on for the time being. We need to get rid of some fuel. So I've made a mistake here. What I've done here is completely wrong. If you come to weight and balance, the fuel is actually 15,000 pounds. Okay, so that is how much I'm supposed to load in for the fuel. And now the cargo is supposed to be 9,700. That is completely my mistake. I apologize. 172 full house today. Okay, now we can add the ballast as required. Okay, we can keep adding ballast as required, and then we can make our adjustments as necessary. There we go. Oh, what? Let me change that cargo to 15,000, please. $17,000. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go 20. $4.8. Good lord, this is just annoying at this point. This is annoying at this point, huh? I should have just left it alone. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it alone exactly like this. I'm gonna go to our performance data here because it's all changed now. Oh, we can't even change it. This is going to be interesting. Zero fuel weight, invalid. Okay, we can't change anything now. We're screwed, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it. Let's see what happens. That is a mistake on my part. I apologize. We're not supposed to fly with this much fuel and stuff, but yeah. Anyway, that is not a problem with the aircraft. That is entirely on me. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and get on out of here. I'm just setting up the nav bar there. KORD to KDEN. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and taxi right after we drop our flaps to position 5. There we go. Dropping flaps. Auto brake here to RTO there. Anything else we need to do before takeoff? Just the transponder here, which we'll take care of later. Taxi lights are on, seatbelt signs and stuff like that are on. Let's go ahead and get on out of here. Parking brake released. Let me just check if my reverse thrust works. Yep, it does. There we go. On our way out, finally. Apologies about all these little issues here. First time flying this aircraft on the channel. Yep. It's actually my first ever flight with this aircraft. Yeah. It's not my first attempt though, but it is my first ever flight. Let's see how it goes. Hold on. Which way shall I go? Okay, we'll turn here. Oh yeah, there is a runway ahead of us. Runway 4 left. Well, even if there's anybody on it, doesn't matter. We're flying with FSLTL traffic, really, so. Okay. I think we're okay. We are going to go this way here. There we go. Alright, all the way till the end on this one. Okay. Yeah, this aircraft is very foreign. Nonetheless, HUD. Does the HUD work? It does work, huh? I'm not going to use it. I've never flown with a HUD in my life. It's going to cut a little bit back on the throttle there. That sign is way too close to the wing, isn't it? Yeah, it is. We'll see it in a bit. We shall see it in a bit. There it is. It is so close to the engine. Okay. It's all good. Runway 9C is the runway over here. It's not this one. This is 9R that we are taxiing parallel to at the moment. Okay. Just a quick look. Okay, there's no one else in the chat there. No, there isn't. Okay, it's time for takeoff, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much. It really is, eh? Anything I'm missing here? Nope. Just gonna turn all of those on there. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. Anybody on this runway? No, sir. We are clear. Let's keep going. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn on our landing lights. I'm going to go ahead and change the strobe lights to strobe. Get a bit more power here. Help it move. Put our engine relight to continuous there. There we go. Anything else we need to do? We can turn off the taxi lights if we like. Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay, everything else up here is looking good, right? I don't see an issue. Yeah, I don't see any issues up here. Okay, we've got the runway coming up. Little bit ahead there. I'm gonna turn on our TCAS all the way to what it needs to be, I think. Yes, TARA, perfect. We are ready for takeoff, ladies and gentlemen. Finally. Finally. There we go, coming up on the runway. One quick look outside. Fortunately, we don't have cabin views available to us. It's 737 MAX by Asobo. It is pretty trash, I'm not gonna lie. It is pretty bad. It would be a lie if I told you guys this thing is actually pretty good. It is not very good. A lot of tiny little things that I don't know, for some reason Asobo decides in its infinite wisdom to make it weird. Anyway. There we go. Ready for takeoff, and we're gonna take off quickly here. In typical fashion for low-cost carriers. There we go. Pulling up engine to 40. Okay. I don't trust my calculations for today, so I hope it's enough. I hope we'll be fine today. Let's find out. Oh God, okay. We're up already. Gear up, please. There we go. That is not right. That is not right. Yep, we've messed up with the speed calculations, the weight and balance for sure. That is not right. Yeah, the trim is way too high there. Yep, we're gonna have an issue here. We're gonna have an issue here. Oh my God. That's not good at all, man. Okay, when we're ready to, we'll vector this thing to turn back around. But for now, that is not good. That is not good. That is not good at all. Okay, let me try and gain some speed here, because this is not good. Giving it to the autopilot for the time being. It's gonna... Okay. Still a little bit funny here. Still a little bit funny. Okay, let me try position 1 now. Hopefully, okay. That's much better. Up. And we can now ask our little aircraft here to go towards Olin directly, please. There we go. Brilliant. Okay. Anything we need to do here? That is set. That is set. Everything here is set. We've got auto brakes here to off, please. There we go. TCAS and all that is set pretty much. Let's go outside, see what... There's Chicago there in the distance. Looking decent, kind of. There we go. Okay. This isn't the worst I've seen MSFS 2024, so I'm happy about that. We are not climbing at all. We are not climbing at all. I don't know why that is, but that is what's happening right now. Okay, let's go up now towards maybe 12,000 feet. Come on. Aren't you gonna climb? Is VNAV working on this thing? I don't think VNAV is not... What? VNAV is not working, is it? No, it's not. Yeah, VNAV isn't working. Okay, I'm just gonna do a flight level change there. Straight up to 12,000. Let's see if that works. Okay, that is working. Okay, so VNAV is not working on this thing. That is interesting. What on earth is going on here? Good lord. Okay, I don't know, man. This aircraft is weird. Yeah, today we did have a little bit of an issue with the weight and balance and whatever, but it was nothing that was too terrible that the aircraft shouldn't be able to manage. Range down here, as in up, my bad. And I'm gonna go weather here. We're going to go traffic on this one. Range up. There we go. Okay, and we're frozen there for a second. Yeah, I don't know. This aircraft isn't the best. I'll leave it at that. But we're still flying, so I'm not gonna complain yet. Transition altitude at 18,000 feet. I'm just gonna fly directly to my transition altitude here first, and then we'll, you know what? Forget all of that. Let's just go directly to our cruising altitude. Let's see how this thing does. 35,000 feet. Okay, directly going to our cruising altitude. Let's see how this thing does. Oh, I prefer PMDG to this for sure. And I'm pretty sure the iFly 737 MAX is much better than this one. This is not good. I shouldn't have screwed up with that weight and balance the way I did, huh? That was a rather silly way to screw up, but still. Should not be giving us this much issues, and it is. Clear! For the love of God, clear! No, it's not gonna clear. What the heck? Okay, I don't know. Below 19,000 feet. Huh. What? That doesn't seem right at all. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna continue here and see what's gonna happen. Oh, okay, it is right. Never mind. That's after the top of descent. Okay, no problem. No problem. Okay, 11,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn off our landing lights there. Any other lights I need to turn off? Position is strobing there. That is on, and passenger signs can come to automatic or even off. This can come to off there. The engine continuous relight. Ignition should be on both. Yeah, in the middle there, not a problem. Okay, everything here is looking good. Come get me some coffee, please. Thank you. Well, anyway. Okay, that's all looking great. I think it's okay now. I think for the first ever time flying an aircraft that is already pretty buggy, I don't think I'm doing too terrible. Let me try VNAV one more time. If I press VNAV, what does it do? Can VNAV work? Can VNAV work? And as you can tell, it's slowly decreasing. Its climb rate. Can it work is a question. Okay, maybe it's trying to reach the speed here and then it'll work, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, I think it is working, huh? VNAV is working. Okay, fantastic. We do have some time to kill on this flight though. It is a long one. It is a long, long one. Well, it's not that long. But you get my point. It is long. We've just taken off from Chicago, so there is some time for us to kill here. Yes, VNAV seems to be functioning for the moment, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'm not entirely sure. I'm very new to this aircraft. I can't tell if it's buggy or it's just me doing things wrong. But nonetheless, not too terrible. Not too terrible. As I get more used to it, perhaps I'll start flying it a little bit more. But yeah, not too terrible. Not too terrible. We are looking alright despite that initial mishap with the weight and balance. We're looking okay. Everything here is looking just fine. We're on our way happily to a cruising altitude and towards Denver. Anybody in the chats? Oh, the chat's quiet now. Real quiet. But yeah. Let me see. What kind of views can I... Okay. That isn't too bad. But I really wish it had a cabin, man. I mean, without the cabin view, your flight sim experience isn't complete, you know? It doesn't feel right without a cabin view. It just doesn't feel right without a cabin view. So yeah, that is something I have a gripe about, but beyond that, I think we're okay. I think I've gotten the hang of this aircraft. Hopefully I won't make any more silly mistakes like I did. Maybe if I do a return leg, huh? Should I do a return leg? I don't know. I'll debate that once we land into Denver. Perhaps I might consider doing a return leg. Alrighty. As usual, let me pop up some aviation news for us to enjoy. Get that going. We'll get... let me just head on over to Twitch, make sure my stream is working just fine here. Just have to double check from time to time because I'm still quite new to this. Okay. Yep, and I believe I'm available at 2K on Twitch, huh? Yeah, I'm actually available on Twitch at 2K. That is good. That is good. I don't know if I should consider upgrading my stream up to 4K on Twitch and YouTube. I'm not sure. Not even sure if that's entirely possible. But we are looking good. We are looking good. I'll have a play around with the settings later, see if I can upgrade the stream up to 4K on both. Oh, look at that, would ya? We've reached 450 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen, on the channel. Yep, we've got 450 subs. I'm gonna have to do a 450 subs special live stream or something like that. Well, you know what? I have a 500 subs special live stream. That is the one that I've got planned. So we'll do that. But 450 subs, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate the support. It keeps me motivated to keep flying there. So, yeah, real fun there. Real fun. Okay. So, yeah. Let's see. What do we have in aviation news? Just a quick glimpse. Quick glimpse of what's available to us in terms of aviation news for today. Let's see. Yeah, a 19-year-old flies a Cessna to Antarctica. Did you all hear about that? So a 19-year-old, I believe he's a content creator. He flew a Cessna 182Q to Antarctica. So yeah. Interesting. The Cessna 182Q. Let's learn more about the Cessna 182Q, shall we? Let me try and find more. Okay. Before we do that, let's go ahead and look at some more news. Let's see. American Airlines passenger to pay $60,000 after sneaking onto flight. So man has been fined nearly $60,000 for bypassing security at Philadelphia International Airport and illegally boarding an American Airlines flight without being screened. The offender, whose name is actually published, I won't say the name out, boarded the aircraft without transportation security clearance. So yeah, that is a serious security breach at Philadelphia International Airport. That is interesting. That is a serious security breach. Did you guys also hear about the Tokyo, the flight in Japan? The one that dropped 26,000 feet or so? That is something interesting, isn't it? That is something interesting. We can learn about that. Okay, let's take a look at that. So, Tokyo bound 787. No, sorry. Let me read that. Before I read that, let me change the views here a little bit. That's a noisy view to leave it on, huh? Let's go here. Let's see if we have this. It's not too terrible. A view to leave it on, is it? Okay, let's check out what it says. VNAV is still doing its job correctly. Oh, we passed our transition altitude. My bad. Need to do that. Yep, we passed our transition altitude. Entirely my fault there, but no harm, no foul. What do we have? Tokyo bound Boeing 737-800 drops 26,000 feet in 10 minutes, makes emergency landing in Osaka. 26,000 feet in 10 minutes. It's an average rate of about 2,600 feet per minute, which doesn't sound bad in the average, but let's find out. So it dropped from 36,000 feet to just 9,800 in under 10 minutes. Okay. After the flight crew received a cabin pressure alert and declared an emergency. Oh, okay. So, alright, okay. So it's not a loss of control. It's the flight crew making an emergency descent after receiving a cabin pressure alert. Okay. So the way they put it, it makes it sound like the aircraft lost control and literally fell down. But the use of the word plummet there is you know. But no, it's just a emergency descent there. So yeah. Okay. All right. Alrighty, nothing else to do here, and I see that no one else is in the chat at the moment. So we're just gonna continue our flights. That's really good detail on the window there. The scratch. The scratches are looking really good. There's very good detail on the window there. We're just gonna continue on flying. Nothing else to do pretty much. Coming up on top of climb, roughly about there. That's not too terrible. Okay. I think I am going to use fast forward on this flight. So once I reach cruising altitude, I'll turn on fast forwarding sim rate, so we can wind up the stream a little quicker here. Yeah, I'll use sim rate today, especially since yeah, I feel like, yeah, we'll use sim rate. We shall use sim rate. Just increase the range on that. Top of descent is all the way there. Calvin and 97, hello mate, love your stream and will like to be a fan and friend. Add me up on Discord. Username is. All right, I still need to set up my Discord. Still need to set up my Discord, but yeah, once I have it set up, I'll make sure I leave it on the appropriate channels. And yeah, I got your username. Are you a flight simmer as well? Okay, there is pretty much nothing for us to do right at the moment. Everything is looking just as it should. The VNAV is actually working just as it should. So we don't have much of an issue here. We don't have much of an issue. Top of descent is like 600 something nautical miles away. Yeah, we got some 600 something nautical miles left to go towards top of descent. So that is a long way. Once we reach cruising altitude, I will turn on sim rate so we can fast forward through our flight. We'll take a good look at the scenery out our window. So that'll be a nice little thing to do before we come into land in Denver. Just cycle through the views here real quickly. I like that view, I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. The 737 MAX also has another bug which is quite irritating for me, at least. It's the wing flex issue. So you can see that the right wing, the starboard, does not have as much wing flex as the left wing. The left wing has wing flex, the right one does have wing flex, but it's much less. And this remains like this no matter what you do. Right? And that is something that is very, very irritating for me. The A321s and A330s all had that issue earlier, but at least the wing flex fixes are available from flightsim.to. For the 737 MAX, I can't do anything about this. This is really, really annoying. And this, it said, is a flight sim issue, not an aircraft issue, but rather an innate issue with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. That is what I gather by reading up the forums, and that is absolutely unacceptable in my opinion. Okay, that takes away a lot because the one thing that Microsoft Flight Simulator has over something like X-Plane 12 are the visuals, the graphics. And if visually something is off, then what the hell is the point? I mean, Microsoft Flight Sim is a flight simulator game. It's a simulator that simulates a flight simulator. That is what Microsoft Flight Simulator is. A flight sim simulator, or a simulator game. So when compared to something like X-Plane 12, which is an actual flight simulator, all it has pretty much is graphics, in my opinion. And yes, there are a lot of aircrafts available. GA flying is something that Microsoft Flight Sim is better at, but that's because of the graphics. So when you're flying something like an airliner like here, something like this can become a bigger deal than it really should be, because this is annoying. This is really weird, but yeah. That is something I wanted to make a note of. I believe we've reached our cruising altitude. I should probably go in the cockpit and make sure this aircraft isn't doing something really weird. Look at that, we're actually looking decent down here in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. It's not every day I can say that. Have they started fixing some of the stuff? Because this looks pretty decent, doesn't it? This does look pretty decent. The sun is not good, but you know, it's not too terrible. That is not too terrible, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there's a little bit of a thing there, but that's not too terrible. It's not the worst I've seen Microsoft Flight Sim be. A little bit off, but yeah, not too terrible. Anyway, we head back in there. Let me go back in there. Yeah, we're at cruising altitude and everything is working the way it should for now. VNAV autopilot, and it's not doing any issues. It's not giving us any issues. That's fantastic. Even with the crosswind, huh? It's got a 34 knot wind coming almost directly from the side and no issues. Okay. Alright. Since we reached our cruising altitude, let's go ahead and do a bit of sim rate so we can get there a little quicker. Shall we do that? Let's do that, ladies and gentlemen. What is this? Get lost. Come here. We'll put that right there and I'll get the sim rate going. So let's go sim rate into 4. Okay. So we're doing some sim rate there. And I'm going to put that there so you guys can see that we're using sim rate. Okay. Current simulator rate into 4 speed, a little bit of wobbliness there. I hope this aircraft can handle into 4. Yeah, most aircrafts can handle into 4. Oh Lord, is that the trim? Okay, I don't think this aircraft can really handle it, can it? No, that's the trim right there. Just like the real 737 MAX, the 737 MAX in here has trimming issues. When you try to fast forward it, it's just bouncing. It's bouncing. It's like a plane that's low riding. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back down to into 2. Hopefully that will smoothen things out. Yeah, it has. There we go. Into 2 is not too bad there. Okay, good. So the aircraft can handle into 2. It's not bad. There we go, zooming along here. But twice as fast as we would otherwise. Southwest. Not bad. Not bad. Ooh, wobble. See how straight and rigid this wing is? That is not right. That is not right, ladies and gentlemen. That is not right. I'm not a big fan of the 737 series, by the way. I don't fly it very often. I do have the PMDG 737, which is much better than this, but I don't fly it often. I don't fly it that often. A little bit of artifacts over there by the clouds and stuff. It's interesting. This is a lovely scene as we fly along at into 2 speed. And you can easily notice the wing flex on this side, but on the other side, not so great, right? So that is what I'm talking about. Nonetheless, while I'm flying up here, I can go ahead and change the thumbnail on this thing, shall I? I can change the thumbnail. Not only can I change the thumbnail, I can also set up my Discord. Since all you guys have been asking about Discord, we shall get in on Discord here. Okay, I do have a proper Discord account set up. So yeah. That's cool. That is cool. I do have a Discord account set up. So let me go ahead and see what I can do with Discord. I don't even have an idea. I don't even have an idea on how to use Discord at all. I have to figure this out. Okay, let me add the people who have asked me to add them on Discord. Let me see. All right. Okay, my Discord is active, but yeah. All right. Let's quickly go in and have a look inside on what is going on with the stream. What is going on with the stream? That doesn't look too terrible, does it? Sun doesn't look so great, but it doesn't look too terrible, does it? No, sir. We do have a bit of that wobble that I'm talking about, but that's probably because of into 2 speed, so I'm not going to complain there. That's perfectly fine. Let's reduce our range here. Top of descent coming up in less than 320 nautical miles now. That is fantastic news for us. It's fantastic news for us. Okay. Still got some way to go though. Still got some way to go. So we'll just hang on in here for the time being. Okay. Coming back into coming back into the cockpit a second. Let's see what's happening. Nothing much apparently, and all the scenery is quite monotonous here. Pretty much, huh? Pretty much. It's quite surprising. And even at 2 into sim rate, we're still 2.5 hours in. We don't have much left to go though now. So yeah, the way we are going, the way we are going right now, we should be in about 15 minutes at least. We should begin our top of descent. Yeah. So that's about 160 nautical miles. We should be there in about 15 minutes or something. Or even less. Much less, maybe. So let's see how this goes. This is awfully close to our overspeed there. But I'm not going to do anything. Since the autopilot is doing its job right now, I don't want to mess with it. Don't want to mess with it. Total flight hours are 133 hours. That is such BS. 83 airports, 509 takeoffs, 342 landings. Is that correct? Have I only flown for 134 hours on 2024? That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. 83 airports. I need to visit more airports though, don't I? I really do, huh? 29th to 5th of July. Okay, now I know that's a lie. Because the 29th to 5th of July, 43 minutes, really? That's all I flew? That's all I flew? That is a lie, sir. I've literally got live streams on the channel during this time, so that's not accurate. Oh, that's so cool. You can turn it away. That's good. That is not accurate. I don't think it is. Okay, top of descent showing up here now. Oh, not at all that long left, huh? I would say about 5 more minutes. Or 6 more minutes before we come to top of descent. Yes, sir. That is exciting news there. Very good. Then we can put our sim rate back to normal. And we'll perform our... Okay, actually, we'll descend first. We'll head on down towards 10,000 feet. Then we'll go back to normal, probably. And then we can do that. Yes. There we go. In case you guys are wondering what this is a sim rate selector. Okay. This is sim rate selector. And it's pretty good. It is pretty good. It is just a little panel that you can download for free from flightsim.to. All it does is it allows you to control the sim rates rather than using the keyboard shortcuts or binding controls to it. You can just directly do it from the menu up here. It makes your life a little easier. It helps you see exactly what's going on. You don't have to wonder what sim rate it is, and it's really, really good. It does the job absolutely perfectly. So yeah, it's a free little add-on that you can pick up on flightsim.to. Very tiny thing. Just adds that little menu, but it is very, very convenient, and I highly recommend getting it. So yeah, that's what this is. Sim rate selector. There you go. I'm going to put that up there. So you guys can see the current sim rate. Perfect. It's a shame we can't see the cabin in this aircraft. We can't go to the cabin. If you press the cabin door, it will put you outside. So if I press it now, it will say, look, aircraft must be stopped to exit. I don't want to exit. I just want to open the door and go into the cabin. Which doesn't really make sense because the cabin is actually well modeled, right? So we can go ahead and take a look at that. I don't know. At this point, I think I'm the only one on the stream. Pretty much, yeah. But anyway. There it is. There's our drone camera. if I come in here to the cabin, look at how well modeled it is, right? It's actually modeled. So why they would block off access to the cabin, and you could have some really cool wing views here, right? We could set that up from the cabin and we could enjoy that as we fly along, but instead of that, Asobo decides, you know what, no one's getting into the cabin. Why would you do that? This aircraft is just terrible, man. It really is. I don't like what they did with it. And this is after massive improvements that we were able to fly with it like this. When it first came out, good lord. Absolute garbage. But now at least we can fly with it. So yeah. That is Asobo doing its thing. Microsoft doing its thing as usual. Look at all this. All of this is modeled, but you can't access it. How on earth does that make any sense, Microsoft? Or Asobo? Or whoever the hell is in charge of this and doing this nonsense here? Why would you do that? It's modeled so well. But no. Absolute monkey wrench business right there. Anyway. Oh, look at that. Let's have a look at how it's modeled in here. Yikes. Okay, whatever. Gotta stop messing around with it too much. Okay, I'm gonna go back into our cockpit now. Let's have a look at what's going on. Maybe we've reached top of descent. Nope, we're 80 nautical miles away, but it's not too far away anymore. We are supposed to be below flight level 22,000. That's not gonna happen, mate. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. Let's find out. But we're almost there at top of descent. Not too long left to go. We are preparing here to cut down on sim rate selector momentarily. Okay, I don't think I'll be doing a return leg today. I don't think they have enough viewers to do a return leg at the moment, so we're just going to stop it in Denver today. We are going to have landing replays, obviously. So I'm going to stop it in Denver, okay? I'm going to stop it in Denver. Okay, cool. This is going to be my last long live stream per se. I've decided to keep my live streams between 1 and 2 hours long, and we'll leave it at that for live streaming, because ultra long live streams just don't get that many viewers or return from it. So I'm not going to do any more ultra long live streams or anything longer than 2 hours pretty much. Just going to keep it between 1 and 2 hours. Okay. Yeah. Reduce the range on that. We got vectors after there. That is why the flight plan cuts off there. We got vectors from there to ILS on runway 16 left into Denver. Okay, very good. Very good. I'm looking forward to this landing. Let's see how this aircraft behaves when we land. I'm really looking forward to it, because the last time I tried to land this aircraft, Wobble City. Wobble City was what was happening. We'll also use the ILS and glide slope and all that stuff today just to see how it ends up looking. Top of descent coming up. About 50 something. Under 50 nautical miles now. No, sorry, not 50. Under 60 nautical miles now. Around 50 nautical miles left to go. To top of descent, that with 2 times speed is like 25 nautical miles left to top of descent. So what I'll do now is I'm just going to go ahead and set up our speed in just a little bit. Let's have a look at what our final altitude here is going to be. Runway 16 out 5,400, yeah. We know that because the altitude at Denver is 5,366. So that is where the runway is at. Leeds at 7,000. So we're going to go down to 7,000 feet, yeah? We'll go down to 7,000 feet today. Very good. Very good. FMC is not too terrible, I guess. Yeah, we'll go down soon. This town is a break you down. Okay, I gotta go up here. What do we have? Let's see. Any of the lights we need to turn on or anything like that as we descend? Not until we reach 10,000 feet, so yeah, we're looking okay here. At least it's about to get a little busy in the cockpit here. That is good news. That is welcome news. Coming up on top of descent. I had an idea that I've been working on for a while now, and I think I'm going to implement it in flight streaming. During the live streams, especially when we have a bit of time to kill like this, I think I'm going to undertake one of my other ventures that I abandoned halfway, which I really shouldn't have. I used to have a channel called Chilling with Chilies, and where I would eat all sorts of hot stuff, you know, like hot sauce and all that stuff. I think I'm going to bring that back in the flight stream channel. Because it's going to be fun. Keep myself entertained here. You're going to see me making some weird callouts. Okay, we got top of descent coming up. Let's go to our sim rate selector. Go to into 1. Current simulator rate into 1 speed. We also have reset before close. Reset before closing enable there as well. So we're going to close that up. Okay, great. Top of descent coming up. Let's go down towards 7,000 feet. Come on now. Perfect. Look at that. 7,000 feet. I'm going to wait a little bit before I ask it to descend here. But yeah, looking good. Not too far to go towards Denver now, ladies and gentlemen. There is our top of a descent in Denver. Here we come. Let's go outside and cycle through the the views one time. Look at that. What appears to be just farmland all under us. There we go. Not too shabby looking. Not too shabby looking. Look at what view is that? Oh, it's like literally from the APU looking forward or something. It's a weird view to save, don't you think? That's another odd view there. Okay, that's a decent view as well. Okay, great. Let's jump back into the cockpit here. Top of descent coming up. Let's go ahead. Oh god. There we go. Let's go ahead and let's see if the VNAV automatically begins to descend, or we gotta press that button right here. Let's see if that needs to happen. Hello? Hello? Top of descent there. Are we gonna start up? Yes, it is. It's gonna descend now. Brilliant. So VNAV is functioning the way it should. And ladies and gentlemen, we've reached our top of descent as we fly into Denver here today. So hopefully we'll be able to have a decent landing. We'll have sky dolly running for us, obviously. Looking good. Okay, weather radar on, terrain on here. I want terrain here. There we go. We want terrain over here. The status stuff here, I want it to go away. How do I make it go away? Right here. Right here. I don't want this. I want this to be full. And I don't think you can change this though. You can swap them around, can't you? Yeah, you can do that. That's better. That's much better. That, ladies and gentlemen, is much better. So if I go this, aha, good. Good, that is more like it. This is the way how these screens work. It's halfway between the old Boeing and the 787. So that is, it's quite cool. Not too terrible. Let's see, what else do we need to do? Do we have anything else? Info not available, that not available, this not available. Come on, mate. What? Come on. Okay, fine. We don't need to know any of this. This is perfectly fine. So, yeah. Good. Good, 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 good. We're supposed to be below 22,000 feet. We've got about 27 nautical miles to accomplish that. 26 nautical miles now. Yeah, we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to do that with this descent rate. Yep. I'm gonna put this on automatic here, just in case somebody is floating around there. Gonna do that for the time being. We are looking good. Got both the autopilots engaged here. Does both of them need to be engaged for VNAV to work? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not gonna mess around too much. We've got auto throttle armed, but for some reason it's not working. I think there's a bit of an issue there. I can't clear this message. I think it needs a bit of drag, doesn't it? To slow down appropriately, it needs a bit of drag. Where does it show where the speed brake is? We gotta go on this page to check out the spoilers? Come on, that's not good. Yeah, you're this down. Is a breaking down. Yeah, that's enough. Let's see if it can maintain that speed right there. I'm not too sure. Speed brake disarmed. Okay, during descent, we should ideally put our speed brakes to position number 2. There we go. Position number 2, following on from the checklist, generic airline checklist there. I'm going to put our auto brake to 2 right now. That is great. Most things in the cockpit are clickable. It's just terribly modeled. Anyway, 280 knots being held. Good descent rate. Right on top of the descent path right there. Nothing looking bad. Just a speed slipping away ever so slightly from time to time, but the engine is being retarded by the auto throttle, which is fantastic. There we go. It's in retard mode. There we go. Okay. It is armed now, but I'm trying to drop that speed. That's okay. Everything is looking fine. But you see this? This is the problem. Look at this. Look at this wobble. Look at this wobbling thing. This is what it is. I had the same issue before. I had the same issue before, but this time it's much milder. Like this used to happen, and the aircraft used to go around wildly with no wind. By the way, today at least we got some wind and stuff, so I think it's fixed now. But this is a bit odd anyway. Yeah, the aircraft is a little bit, look at this. It's like a rocking chair. Why on earth would you, what is this? What is this? Okay, let me turn off this. Turn that off, bring that back on. Bring that back on. No, it doesn't do anything. Okay, whatever. Whatever. We're supposed to be below 22,000 feet and above 19,000 feet. Seems like that might happen. We've got about 5 nautical miles left for that to happen. 3 now. Yeah, we'll be fine. Oh, that is not looking good. Now it just seems like it's not the wind. The wind is actually reducing and the wobble is increasing. See, this is what I hate. This aircraft is so buggy. It is stupidly buggy. I'm just going to attribute this to the wind. I hope it is because of the wind. At least we've got a lot of gusts. variable wind here. So maybe it's because of that. I'm gonna say it's because of the gusting. Okay. Brilliant. Now what? Below 19,000, above 15,000. Let's see if VNAV continues to follow this correctly or not. We've got our transition altitude coming up in 3,000 feet, so we gotta change that to local pressure as well there. But as you can tell, this aircraft is not exactly a smooth ride. But yeah, let's try. Let's see how the landing ends up being. We're not too far away at all from our landing, by the way. The arrival procedure isn't long at all. We're just coming in. Right now our heading is almost directly towards the foot of the runway at the moment. We are going to turn out a little bit to the right and then come back in to the left, yes. But at the moment we're flying directly towards the airport pretty much. The airport should be somewhere there, off in the distance. It's not too far away though. It really isn't. It's not too far away. The airport itself is roughly about 50 nautical miles away from us. Yeah, I would say it's about 50 nautical miles away from us as the crow flies. So it's not too far away at all. Okay, we got the vectors over there. We're just going to continue our flying most likely, provided that we are ready. So let's see how it goes. Provided we are ready, we're just going to continue like this and then boop, turn it. So there is the start of the vector there. We're going to keep going like this and then boop, in we go. Boop. Okay, I think because the gusting has finished, pretty much the gust. Okay, there we go. Changing altitude to local pressure is 29.82. That is good on either side. Okay, they have been synced. Correctamundos. Brilliant. Okay, that's all looking good for us. That is all looking good for us. Great. We just quickly go outside. Take a quick look as we descend here. That is a very large tail for an aircraft this size, isn't it? Probably makes it susceptible to crosswind quite a bit. That makes it more controllable, I suppose. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Coming into land at Denver. I don't like the way how the exterior is modeled, quite frankly. It looks too plasticky. It really looks too plasticky. Yeah, I don't like the way how it's modeled there. But I don't know, maybe that's realistic and I just don't know. Okay. Looking good. Let's head back in there. 15,000 feet. We're supposed to drop our speed down to 230 knots. Yeah, we'll be fine, I guess. Above 12,000 feet is all we need, but we need to drop our speed by about 40 knots, which is quite a bit right there. So I'm just going to see what the VNAV is going to do here. There we go. We have a more detailed look at what's going on right now. Beautiful. So we gotta go in this way, and then when we're ready to come in, we can come in. Dev, shalom, yeah bro, let's sometimes play together and share tips. Sure man, I mean, are you a flight simmer? Are you a flight simmer? I'm pretty new to Discord, mate. I don't really know how that works, but I'll look into it, sure. I certainly will. I've never seen you on the stream before, so welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Coven97, thank you so much for the follow on Twitter. No, Twitter, says I. Follow on Twitter. No, not Twitter. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Excuse me. Thank you very much, Coven97, for that follow on Twitch. I appreciate that very much, mate. Thank you. Thank you. And Dev Shalom, welcome to the stream. First time seeing you here. Hope you were enjoying yourself. Thank you very much for tuning in. And yeah, I'm getting my Discord up and running slowly. So yeah, hope to catch you sometime. Appreciate it. I do. All right. So we're supposed to be at around 11,000 feet pretty much. There we go. Speed is still way too high. So I'm going to give a little bit of speed brake there. There we go. So we're now officially into the approach as well into Denver. And since we're into the approach, I'm going to go ahead and start with our landing checklist pretty much. So let's try and descend here. I mean, let's try and drop some speed here. Okay. Now I'm going to leave the speed brake armed. And I'm going to begin dropping flaps to position number 1. There we go. Okay, here is where things get a little bit funny because at kick me we're supposed to be 8,000, above 8,000. So I'm just going to continue flying here straight up. On our heading just like that. Heading select please, thank you. I'm just going to continue flying on that heading till we're ready to turn in. Simple as that. Simple as that. We gotta drop our speed a little bit. 210. No, that's all too fast. That is too fast, mate. That is too fast. Let's decrease our range. Okay. Taking a quick look here at our landing. We need to drop our flaps. We need to bring our gear down. 10,000 feet has been pretty much reached, right? Let's just turn on our landing lights here. We're going to put the passenger seatbelt signs and all of that on. Get the cabin ready. Okay. There we go. That's all fine. Let's go to continuous on the engine relight there. And we're just going to fly this vector for a bit. And then we'll turn in towards Kick Me. Kick Me. Alrighty. Okay, good. All that sounds great. I'm gonna get my sky dolly running here, ladies and gentlemen, for our landing replay on the stream today. Luckily, we'll have one. Okay, sky dolly recording. We're in. We're in. Okay, time to fly. Shall we fly? Let's fly. Switch to LNAV. Go here, please. Execute that. And let's begin dropping our altitude. We need to drop our altitude, don't we? You know what? I'm going to give it a bit more. I'm going to give it just a bit more here. $210 is too much. Let me give it a level change. I'm going to drop the speed here to 170 knots directly. There we go. That's much better. That is much better. I'm going to use the... oh, God. What is this thing doing? Okay, there we go. That's much better. We can drop our flaps slowly if it will let us. Come on. We need to drop the flaps. We have to be above 8,000 at kick me. Don't worry. We'll do that manually. No worries, mate. No worries. Let's drop our speed down further to about 160. And let me drop our flaps down to position 2 there. Okay, come on. We need to drop. That is not looking good. Let me bring down the speed brake there so we can drop a little quicker. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Dropping flaps. One more to position number 5. Let's go to our landing data here. We are gonna take 40 degrees at 158 knots. That is what we're gonna use here, okay? Great. So we gotta go flaps full for this landing. I'm gonna go directly to 158. Yeah, there we go. So let's go flaps down one more. We can put our flaps down to 15 before we have to drop our landing gear. Look at how steeply we're descending there. That is a bit rough. Okay. Let me just hold our current altitude just for a second. Holding altitude because we gotta be above 8,000 here. So I'm just gonna hold this altitude at the moment. Dropping flaps one more. There we go. Okay, now we're ready almost. We are ready almost. Time to drop that gear in just a second. I want to switch to approach now. There we go. I'm gonna switch out the ranges down to 5. I'm gonna come to that there, so we have a better view there. Good, we're looking good. Where is the airport? Still haven't looked out for the airport yet. That is the airport, huh? Should be the airport. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Let's go outside. Get ready to drop the gear, shall we? Doing that in 3, 2, 1. Gear drop. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Gear dropping. Gear dropping. Beautiful. So now we can go ahead and pretty much configure ourselves for landing. Let's go flaps down to 25. Gonna bring that speed down actually to 140 there. And let me go flaps 30. Flaps 40. Flaps 40. There we go. Anything else we need to do? TCAS. I'm actually gonna put that to TA only here. Our ILS is working as it should. Approach mode. Once we reach here, I'll turn on the approach mode. Okay. Looking good. 8,000 there, and yeah, 8,000 above there. So we'll just continue to. Okay, you know what? Let me just increase the speed a bit. Just keep the speed there for the time being. Yeah, there we go. Looking good. Coming into Denver International. Coming into Denver. 3 hours into the stream at the moment. We did perform 2 flights today, so it's not too bad. 3 hours into the stream. Let's see how it goes. Just confirming. Sim rate selector, current simulator rate into 1, speed reset before closing it up, and we are going to close it. Okay, great. Great, approach mode, please. Can you select that? I'm going into approach mode now. If it will let me. Oh, come on. Approach. There's no approach? Okay, catch the localizer. Oh, come on. What is it doing? Something isn't right here. Okay, I'm gonna switch back to LNAV. Something isn't right here. I think we've tuned in the wrong thing. Oh, my bad. My bad. I did not switch them. Oh, come on. There we go. That is my bad, ladies and gentlemen. That is my bad entirely. Will we be able to perform approach? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. That is 2,500 feet and we're like 5 nautical miles from the airport. Come on. Will it work? That is my bad entirely. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. Yep, it's gonna work. Glide slope, VR, lock. Yep, that's gonna work. Flaps are fully down. Perfect. Speed here down, please, to 145. Thank you very much. Soon as it catches the glide slope and the localizer, come on, catch the glide slope. Why won't it catch the glide slope? Speed brake, please. Okay. Let me just give it a bit of speed brake to help it slow down there. Come on, why won't it? Okay, I'm gonna take manual control now. I'm not gonna mess around with this too much. My aircraft. Yep, my aircraft. Everything is working. Reference speed of oops, my bad. Just trying to arm our speed brakes here. Yep, speed brakes armed. Okay, my aircraft, and it's not behaving the way I want it to. Good lord, the trim is off. The trim is so off right now. Oh. 1,000. Okay, hopefully we'll be able to. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm not too sure now. Auto throttle is working, but I'm not sure. Oh my god, landing this is yeah, the issues with the trim on this aircraft haven't been sorted, and neither have the glide. The glide slope isn't even okay. Perhaps the glide slope was my mistake, but definitely not this. What's going on right now is not up to me. That is definitely messed up, man. It is definitely messed up. Oh god. This is messed up. This aircraft is impossible to land. Okay, so they haven't fixed this thing. Glide slope. Oh, don't worry about the glide slope now. It's a little too late to worry about that, don't you think? You little bugger.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh, Lord. Woo. So the trim is all over the place, so it still has the very same issue. It still has the very same issue. They haven't fixed it. They have not fixed this thing at all. Okay, 80 knots. Gonna do that there. Where are the auto brakes? Down to off, please. There we go. Come on. That is utter garbage. Yeah, I'm not flying this stupid thing. I'm not flying this foolish thing again. No wonder no one flies the Asobo 737 MAX, because that is not good. Landing lights off, taxi lights on. Yeah. That is not good, man. That is not good. TCAS there. Down, off pretty much. I'm gonna say speed brakes up, flaps up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Denver. But the Asobo 737 MAX, definitely don't fly it. That is messed up. Those are some messed up trim stuff. Can't believe, was this the flagship aircraft for Microsoft Flight Sim? Don't tell me it was, because that is absolutely unacceptable, man. Okay, let's just taxi on to our parking, and then we've got our landing replay. Let's go and see how terrible that landing actually turned out to be. But first, let's go in and park our aircraft. Let me also get the APU running here. Now is a good time to do that as well. Position lights can come to steady, sort of strobing. So yeah, that is good. Good. That's all good right there. Passenger signs are still on. That's they should be. Flaps up, gear down, gear down, sorry. And speed brakes stowed away, please. Thank you. Okay, great. Great, sorry about that. All right. We have made it into Denver. In one piece, luckily. I have all the damage models and everything turned on, and everything is full realistic. So I'm glad that we didn't crash, but A landing very typical of low-cost carrier there, so I'm not gonna complain too much. Let's just head on and find ourselves a little parking somewhere. Something that's appropriate for us. Something small. Yeah, we want a small gate, right? So we'll pick up a small gate there. Ooh, drifting along again, huh? Another southwest ahead of us. Yeah, we shouldn't be turning there, but we will. Yeah, we will. Sometimes FSLTL traffic also follows the wrong direction on the taxiway, so I'm not too worried about it. 22 knots of speed here, and boom. Let's turn here. Let us turn right here. And we'll find ourselves... What on earth is that? This Denver is a handcrafted airport in Microsoft Flight Sim. Got a... What? This isn't right. This isn't right at all. Okay. Just power that up a little bit. Okay, let's find ourselves a little gate now. I know that towards the end there are some small gates, so we're gonna go in and park there. If I can, let me just give it a bit more throttle here. Just give it some 30 something. This wing flex is really bothering me, man. Anyway. My throttle quadrant is not the smoothest in the world. Okay, we need to park and take a look at the landing replay. Come on, come on. These small gates are towards the end here. So we gotta keep going here. These are all medium gates. We could take them though. I mean, it's medium, it's not the end of the world, right? We could take it. We could take this gate right here. Or we could take the next one too. Or we could take the next one. Okay, you know what? Let me just take this one. Yeah, let me take this gate. We've got a marshaller too. How lucky. Lucky us. We got a marshaller. Yo, mate, where are you sending me? There you go. Okay. Come on. Okay. Alright, putting down the parking brake right there. Parking brake has been put down. Great. Okay, following the marshaller, the parking was not great. I feel like I could have done a better job myself. But there we go. There we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at our landing replay before we do anything else. Rewinding, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta rewind all the way back now to take a look at our landing replay. So let's go ahead and do that. was a long ass taxi, wasn't it? Let's find out how we let's find out how this landing turned out. I don't have high hopes for what we did here today, but let's see how it turned out. Let me see. Okay, I'll put it right there for the first replay. It's gonna go a little bit behind there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, first replay. Let's see how we did. Let's see how we did, ladies and gentlemen. Oh god, look at how it's so difficult to control this thing. Okay, nice and bumpy there. That was terrible. Yeah, it was. Nice and bumpy southwest landing. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at another landing replay. Perhaps this time this view right here. Let's check that out. Alrighty. Nice and bumpy landing here, but nonetheless, there's no way I could have done a better job on this thing. Because honestly, they need to fix this aircraft. They really do. I'm not flying this thing again. Very annoying. Look at that. That's not good, man. Alright. Let's see what other view can we take a look at. Okay, we'll take this view as well. And yeah, we'll take this view as well. Denver is supposed to be handcrafted, and look at what? The scenery is horrible. Yeah, this scenery is horrible. Anyway. That is done. That is done. Let's go ahead back to our parking now. Let's go back to our parking. That is some terrible scenery for a handcrafted airport. That is some terrible scenery. All right. Great. We are done with that. Let's head in here. Got our APU running for sure now, right? So let's switch power to the APU. Shut down our engines. Okay, we can ask GSX here to start deboarding. And southwest, please, thank you. Okay, we've got, if we come up here to the panel, APU bleed can remain on now. Engine bleeds are off? Did we fly with the engine bleeds off? No. Don't tell me we flew the entire flight with engine bleeds off. Good lord, did I actually do that? No, I didn't. I know I didn't. I couldn't have, right? Well, anyway, too late to complain about that now. But yeah, we've got that back off there. Fuel pumps, these can go off. Those can pretty much go off. That can go off there. Let's switch to ground power. That can go off. This can go off. APU bleed off. Usually you leave the engine bleeds on, so I'm going to leave that on here. I'm going to leave that off too. I'm going to leave all of that off there. I'm going to leave that off there. We can leave that on for the time being. That off. APU off. Ground power we've switched already. IRS systems can come to... Okay, off there, off there. Good, good, good. Anything else we need to do here? Panel brightness down. Window heats off, all of that off. Emergency lights off there, disarmed completely. Okay, looking good. Voice recorder on automatic. And yep, not too terrible. Not too terrible. We don't need to reset that. I'm not going to worry about all of that. Okay. Wheel well lights off. I did not turn that on. This must be the replay mode. But yeah. Speed brakes stowed and down. Flaps up there. TCAS off here. Good. That off, please. That off. That off. That's all done. Everything else is looking good here. Thrust, parking brake set. Okay, we've got deboarding going on, and ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that live stream. I hope you enjoyed that flight. So yeah, I'm not flying the 737 MAX 8 by Asobo again, unfortunately, because it is incredibly irritating, and I got a lot of things wrong as well along the way. I'm not a big fan of the 737 in general, but I'm not particularly not a big fan of this rendition. I hate it. So yeah, if I don't get my hands on the iFly one, I guess I won't be flying the MAX 8 anytime, or I'll have to wait for PMDG to come to 2024 with the 737. Anyway, with that, I hope you enjoyed today's flight. Pretty interesting one there. So yeah, my recommendation: don't fly the iFly. Don't fly the Asobo 737 MAX 8. Okay. It's still not fixed, huh? Look at that terrible livery loading stuff. 2024 for you. Anyway, welcome to Denver. And I'm going to leave it here for this live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much to everybody who chimed in the chats. Thank you so much for all the buzz in the chat. Thank you, Cool, for chiming in the chat for the first time. Thank you, EM there. You're still streaming. What a shift. Yeah, F1 Racer. I just about landed into Denver, and we've concluded our flight. Just closing remarks now. So yeah, thank you very much to Aviation Trey. Thank you so much to Luna, Thompson, Cool, EM, Coven 97, F1 Racer 140, Misform TV, Hans Hicks, all of you guys, Aviation Trade, all of you guys, thank you so much for chiming in, and thank you for all the follows and the chatting and all of that. Thank you very much. F1 Racer 140, this is not the flight beam K10. This is the default MSFS 2024 handcrafted version of Denver International, and it is absolutely garbage. Yeah, so if you're gonna fly into Denver, just go buy the scenery, because it's handcrafted, but it's not good. I mean, at least it says it's handcrafted in my menu. I have no idea, man, because this is not good. This is not at all a good scenery at all. I don't even think it's handcrafted. I'm gonna have to double check, but yeah. Flight beam, yeah, I'll check that. I don't really fly into Denver a lot, so it might not be worth for me to purchase the scenery, but I'll look at flight beam Denver for sure. But yeah, thank you so much once again. I shall catch you all in the next stream. It's been 3 hours and nearly 3.5 hours here. My next stream is going to be between an hour and 2 hours. That's the sweet spot I'm trying to hit today. I just had to do 2 flights, so that's why it went this long. But anyway, look at that. We've got an aircraft flying right through. What on earth? 2024 is something else, isn't it? Nothing works in 2024. Nothing. Whether it's third-party add-on or default stuff, it's, yeah. Oh, and my first ever X-Plane stream is coming up really soon. Within a couple of days, hopefully, I'll be streaming X-Plane for the first time, and I'm going to be flying the A330 by Aerogenesis in X-Plane 12. You love their SFO. Yeah, I'll check SFO because San Francisco is a great airport. I also fly into it quite a bit, so that might be something I might be interested in. All right then, with that I shall leave it here. Once again, thank you so much, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye.